Welcome back, everyone. This is our Calculus 3 class notes. We are on page 36 and we're moving into section 13.5. So in section 13.5, in the chapter on vector valued functions and motions in space, we're going to be talking about the tangential and normal components of acceleration. So if you're traveling along a curve, a space curve, the Cartesian, I, J, and K, coordinate system for representing the vectors describing your motion is not truly relevant to you. Instead, we want to use the more meaningful vectors representation. Okay, so your forward motion will be the unit tangent vector, which we talked about in the last section. That will always be pointing in the direction that you're moving. Just imagine that you are sitting in an airplane, right? The unit tangent will be pointing in the direction of the nose of the airplane. So that's in the direction that you're moving. The direction in which your path is turning will be the unit normal vector. So imagine this plane is turning to the left, then the unit normal vector will be pointing inward towards that turn. And the tendency of your motion to twist out of the plane created by these vectors in the direction perpendicular to this plane is defined by what's called the unit binormal vector. So the binormal vector is t cross n. All right, now t cross n, so we know that that will be perpendicular to both. So you can imagine that the unit binormal vector comes straight out of the airplane, straight up from the airplane like this. So we essentially have this frame of reference. Instead of I, J, and K, we have the T, the N, and the B vectors telling us our motion on this plane. So we can imagine this particle right here represents the midpoint of that plane, and you can kind of see it passing along the curve. I drew a loop-de-loop, kind of like an acrobatic curve, but it doesn't matter. Just understand this frame here. This is actually called the Frenet frame or the TNB frame. Okay, so what are the tangential and normal components of acceleration? So when we do acceleration, we have a position function R of t, then we have a velocity function V of t. Now V of t kind of shows up in this frame pretty easily, right? Because we know that V of t, the unit tangent is in the same direction as velocity, right? Because the unit tangent here is V prime of t divided by the magnitude of V prime of t. But acceleration won't make a lot of sense in this frame unless we can get it in terms of the vectors t and n. In other words, we want tangential components of acceleration and normal components of acceleration. If we just take the acceleration a of t as a derivative of velocity V prime of t, that will be in terms of I, J, and K. It will not be in terms of this frame, the TNB frame, and we would like it in terms of the TNB frame. So how are we going to do that? Since velocity is dr dt, well, I can play along with the differentials here a little bit and say, well, that's the dr ds, or the derivative of the position function with respect to arc length times speed, ds dt. Okay, in other words, ds dt is speed, and the derivative of r with respect to the arc length is t. Okay, so acceleration then, which is dv dt, is the derivative with respect to t of this, right? Velocity, which is the unit tangent times speed, ds dt. Now I have to use the product rule on this. So it's the derivative of this guy again, so that's the second derivative of f's with respect to t times the unit tangent, and then plus the s dt times the derivative of that unit tangent with respect to t. That's just the product rule. Okay, now I'm going to play around with this one a little bit with its differentials. So I'm going to look at the s dt, and then I'm going to break up the t dt into the derivative of the unit tangent with respect to arc length, ds, times the s dt. Again, you can imagine these differentials canceling, so it's the same thing. So this one I'm leaving alone, so ds dt. Now this right here is actually the curvature times the normal vector by definition. Okay, so we had that before, times ds dt. All right, so you can kind of look at this algebra here and see how that worked. All right, I'm going to stop here before moving on to the next page where we get to example 34, the next example.